Good morning. What's the difference between people who really push through their limits and go hard and improve and grow and change, and those who get stuck and simply are completely paralyzed by fear? What's the difference between those? Well, really, the way I define them, the way I differentiate or change the definition of them is one is panic, one is fear. Fear can be very good or very bad or somewhere in the middle, whereas panic is almost always negative. Here's the difference. With fear, fear is an emotion that we need to pay attention to, and sometimes it can give us a little bit of a rush. I'll give you two examples. If you're in a dark alley in the middle of the night and you're walking through and you hear a little bit of a sound and you see a flash of metal, that fear might be justified, okay? That might be a justified fear where you go, now getting out of there or doing something to protect yourself is probably a great option. Fear plays a great role there. Way back when we were running away from lions and tigers and bears, fear was fantastic. And this is why humans pay such close attention to fear. It's an intimate part of our lives. It's the emotion that we pay closest attention to and that we react quickest to. Now, again, the fight or flight response. That was good, running away from tigers and lions and bears or fighting them or whatever it was. Panic, or sorry, I was going to give you two situations, right? So a different way where you get a kind of an adrenaline rush is people who kind of do that thrill-seeking thing where somebody goes down a roller coaster or a water slide and you go, or even, I don't know, some people love horror flicks. I'm not a big horror flick fan, but some people love being scared a little bit and that gives them a bit of a rush. Now, again, there's a very small difference, a very, very, very unique difference between excitement and fear. I've heard it said once that fear is excitement with the breath taken out of it. It's simply holding your breath a little bit rather than breathing in through it. Okay, and so there are people who do all these crazy things, and it's a rush. It gives us energy. It gets the adrenaline moving, and that can be a healthy thing. It's okay to feel fear every once in a while and give ourselves that response every once in a while. So that's fear. Okay, and those are a couple situations where it can be fairly useful. Panic is very different. When it comes to fear, we can still make active choices. We can still make conscious, logical choices. We can still use our brains. When it comes to panic, the problem is that we actually lose control. We lose control of our logic. So instead of engaging, instead of pushing through, instead of working with, it is pulling back. It is fear. It's fight or flight. It's reaction rather than engaging. It's instead of responding, it's reacting. And that is a negative thing. Why? Because your brain basically shuts off. And again, I've talked about this lots, but your brain basically shuts off and you go into a panic mode where you're simply trying to protect yourself. And that is never a good thing. That is never a good thing because you don't act rationally. You don't protect yourself. You don't protect others. You just kind of run around with it like a headless chicken, going nuts without any forethought at all. Now, again, I have talked about the difference between those. Here's what I'd like you to do. I've got a really quick exercise for you. It's actually going to take a while. It's quick to explain. But what I want you to do is the next few times that you're experiencing panic, and this is how you're going to tell what panic is. You can tell by how engaged you are in the situation. Did you work with the situation in a logical way, or did you pull back or fight or do something irrational? So that's the difference between panic and fear, okay? Now, if you're panicking, really quickly what I want you to do is simply take a really quick, like a self-inventory and ask yourself, where did I feel this in my body? When did I start to feel this? As you start to engage in this and ask yourself those questions, what you'll find is, oh, I can start noticing when I'm starting to panic. I can start gaining control of it before I lose complete control. So in other words, if you look at a thermometer and you're going 0 is zero panic at all, zero fear, 10 is I've lost control and I'm hitting myself with a bat or doing whatever, like I'm just complete insanity. You can measure yourself, and usually people find that when they're about a 7, they're going further anyway, okay? They've kind of lost control already. So the key is to start noticing when you're at a 2 or a 3 or a 4. And now when it comes to a business transaction, when it comes to sales or cold calls or marketing or networking or relationships in general, having hard conversations, maybe you're afraid of conflict, whatever it is. Now instead of simply losing control and reacting and hiding or pushing too hard or whatever it is, instead we can slow down a little bit and ask ourselves what's going on, and that pause to slow down a little bit makes all the difference in the world. It allows us to get more control over what's going on and take rational control of what's going on. So that's the really quick action is take stock. You're going to panic. Everyone does at certain times, okay? I don't know anyone that never panics. Whether it's not always outward, sometimes it's inward. I've had lots of clients that don't look like they're panicky at all. They look like they're cool as cucumbers, but really there's stuff going on. Having said that, when you start to take analysis of that and go, what's going on inside of me? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? You will start to become more aware of yourself. When you start to become more aware of yourself, you can start cutting it off at a 2 or a 3, slowing things down rather than getting carried away at a 7 or 8. This works really well for family dinners with in-laws that you struggle with, okay? It works really well with people that engage emotions quickly, and that, like for me, it's not in-laws. For me, it's actually my own family at family dinners where things can get ramped up pretty quickly. So it just allows you to take that extra moment, slow down, ask yourself what's going on, and then engage with people rather than pulling away or fighting them off. And enjoy practicing this and make this a fantastic day.